Well, good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Monday morning. It is now the 15th day of July, 2024. This is the morning briefing coming to you from the home weather office. And as I look out the window, it's a mostly sunny morning. There are a few high clouds here and there, and there's also a breeze. Temperatures this morning, warm but relatively comfortable. And while we did see some slightly lower daytime highs over the weekend, not 110s, not 108s, instead, downtown Sacramento on Saturday hit 100. On Sunday hit 101. We're still going to be in the mid to upper 90s as we see some slightly cooler days over the next couple of days, but still very, very warm with temperatures staying above average. With that, I want to talk a little bit about the temperatures that we have been seeing. Now, these are the temperatures for Sacramento for the month of July so far. And as you can see, through the 14 days, so far we've only had one day that didn't hit 100. 98 degrees was the coolest max temperature that we've had so far back on the 9th, and today will likely be close to that again. So I looked back at some of the past, and if you go back to June 22nd, so you go back another week or so, since then, out of the 23 days, so out of the last 23 days in Sacramento, 18 have been over 100. So 18 out of 23 have been over 100. And as you can see here, some of those have been very hot. The 110s, the 113s, 113, 111. Very, very hot. And so with that, then you look down here at the average max. The average max temperature right now is 106.5. Now that'll come down because we'll start mixing in some temperatures, maybe 95, 98, but we'll still see some 100s before this month is done. But we'll come off that average of 106. But the highest average maximum temperature, so if you take the max temperature for the entire month, the highest we've ever seen is 99.6. We did that back in 1988. And while we'll come off this 106.5 that we have right now, I don't see enough in the way of cool weather to get that down below 100. So we're likely for the first time going to see an average temperature for the month over 100 degrees. The overnight low, also the average right now is 69.4. Very, very warm. The warmest for that is back in 2006, 66.4. So we're still a full 3 degrees above that. So we've seen the combination of hot afternoons and very warm overnights with many overnight lows in the 70s. I think this number will start to trend a little bit cooler. I do think we're going to see some cooler overnights going forward. But either way, when you factor both of these together, then you come up with these numbers down here. 87.9 is the average temperature. So that takes in the highs and the lows. The record for that is also from 2006, 81.9. So we are a full 6 degrees above the hottest month we've ever seen. And, you know, this is, when you talk about the average over the month, if you have something that is, let's say, a degree or more than a degree higher than average, then you're talking about a temperature, a month that's pretty warm. But this month is a full 10 degrees warmer than average. So a couple of things here, and the reason I want to bring this up is, as I mentioned last week, it's not only the statistics, and yes, it's been hot, but a lot of people have been saying, I don't remember it being this hot. Well, you're right. You know, even if you've been here 30 or 40 years, you'd have to go back and look at a lot of years like 2006 or 1988 to find something that's even similar to this, and this month is even warmer than that. So statistically, yes, it is hot, but also, as I've been mentioning, when we get our energy bills at the end of the month, the AC for many of you has probably been running much of the month, and not just on the valley floor, but in the foothills where the overnights have been staying quite warm as well. So that's where you have to keep an eye on as we go through the next couple of days, is just how warm this month is going to end up being. All right, let's take a look at the satellite this morning. As I mentioned, there are some clouds. We did see a bit of moisture over the weekend and some showers. We even saw some sprinkles over the valley. We also have a nice marine layer here along the coast. And the other thing is, yeah, there's a little smoke and haze. The Shelley fire up here continues to just kind of creep along. There were a number of fires that were also started over the weekend in the foothills east of Fresno, but it doesn't look as though any of those right now are turning into big smoke plumes. With the monsoon moisture we have seen come up from the south, we are seeing an increase in the relative humidity helping to slow down those fires. However, they are still burning, and any sort of a dry, hot day or any additional fuel could certainly send those those a little bit higher. So since we do have a marine layer, let's take a look at the wind pattern we're going to see today. Here's the onshore flow. This is around 2 o'clock this afternoon. As we get into the evening, we are going to see a nice delta breeze this evening. This is around 8 o'clock. Good delta breeze impacting Sacramento County and certainly Solano County and San Joaquin County. Not probably much impact once you get toward places like Auburn, a little bit less impact in Roseville, and certainly in Chico, very little impact from that onshore breeze. But there will be some nice cooling this evening around Sacramento and Elk Grove and Davis. Then as we get into the day on Tuesday, the usual pattern persists. We have a light onshore breeze in the morning, and then it picks up as we get into the late afternoon and evening. And actually, the Tuesday breeze may be even a little bit more robust, spreading farther up the valley. And this is going to be good. And this is going to help to keep temperatures in the range of the mid to upper 90s. With that, let's go ahead and take a look at what the HRRR is saying for today for max temperatures. We'll go ahead to about 5 o'clock this afternoon. A very warm afternoon with temperatures in the valley in the range of 96 to 98, something like that in the warmest spots. The cooler spots in Solano County may be good enough to stay in the mid to upper 80s. And in the foothills, generally mid-90s likely. So that's this afternoon. The overnight lows tonight should be a little bit better. First thing on Tuesday morning, this is around 6 a.m. Most valley temperatures are in the upper 50s to low 60s. This model can run a little bit on the cool side, but still, I think there will be many areas, especially in Solano County, maybe even toward areas like Galt and Lodi that may start off around 57 or 58, but the foothills will once again stay very warm in the upper 60s to low 70s, once again not getting the full benefit of the delta breeze. Tuesday afternoon, another warm day. Temperatures getting back into that range of 90s for the most part, 95 to 96, 97, something like that. And then we'll get that good onshore breeze to also get Wednesday morning off to another comfortable start. So we should see more comfortable mornings as we go through the next couple of days because of the overnight delta breezes, but the afternoons will still be warm, getting into the 90s, but the average high is 95. Now, one of the things that we did see over the weekend were afternoon showers and thunderstorms in the Sierra. This is how the HRRR shows it today. Showers mainly along the crest of the Sierra, as well as in areas up toward the Shelley Fire. They did see some light rain there over the weekend, also helping to slow down the progress of that fire. But it doesn't look as though we'll see that thicker cloud cover over the valley today, even bringing us the chance of that sprinkle that we saw in some places over the weekend. And then during the day Tuesday, it's more the same thing. We still see some of that monsoon moisture, but on Tuesday afternoon, it looks as though the axis of where the best showers is shifted a little bit farther to the east, going from areas maybe toward Mono Lake and Bridgeport, and then off to areas east of Carson City, not as much in the Tahoe Basin. So that's on Tuesday afternoon, and then we'd like to see the same thing again during the day on Wednesday. So the bottom line for today is that it is still going to be a warm afternoon, but not as hot, and maybe even a little bit lower than what we saw over the weekend. But boy, our very warm month of July does continue, and we are on pace right now. We're approaching the halfway point of the month. We're approaching what's likely going to be the hottest month we've ever seen. So it's not just your imagination. No, we haven't seen a month like this before. That's all I've got for you this morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.